everybody. We are back again to talk some more NFL football. We are already
This is
done.
one of the most interesting weeks that's happened in a long time.
There's only 3 more weeks left, and it is still pure, utter chaos. You don't know what's going to happen week to week. And it seems like something that shouldn't happen happens almost every week anymore. It's nuts. But we're going to recap week 15 because that was an interesting week, to say the least. And then there's probably a dumpster fire floating in the middle there somewhere. And then we'll give you our predictions for week 16.
There were so many candidates.
Oh, there's lots and lots of. There's a lot of dumpster fires burning around the NFL right
just
now.
have to pick the worst.
We got to pick the one that stinks the most. Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into the week 15. We had Thursday night. We had the 49ers at the Seahawks, and Purdy is still
Pretty good.
pretty good.
Yes.
Oh
The
yeah.
San Francisco 49ers used their defense and running game and Brock Purdy's arm to clinch the NFC West.
Yes. So the 49ers, they started out a little iffy. I think they really turned the corner when they picked up
Christian McCaffrey.
He is the man. He's versatile. He's a Swiss Army knife. If somebody goes down, he just takes that position. That's, Debo goes down for a day, just use McCaffrey. Somebody goes down for a day, just use McCaffrey. So, they are, I'll say, dangerous. They're still the number one defense in the league, aren't they?
Yes.
So, yeah.
In every stat.
If you have the number one defense, and then you have all of those weapons
And
on
Christian
offense,
that is a dangerous combo.
and this is damn coming. If Purdy can stay pretty good
And not turn the ball
and
over.
not turn the ball over,
The 49ers are going to be a dangerous team come playoff time.
they are going to be a dangerous team. And then we jump into our first chaotic game of the week.
This one, Colts Vikings.
Colts Vikings.
This is going to be remembered forever.
It is a record-breaking game. No team has ever been down 33 points
And came back to win.
and won.
That's
Until-
insane. I gotta commend it was a disastrous first half.
Yeah,
They were down 33-0 at halftime.
the Colts outscored them by 33 points in the first half, and the Vikings outscored the Colts 33 points in the second half, and off to overtime we go.
Oh my goodness. This is an all-time choke. It has to be a choke. You can't blow a 33-point lead and have any sort of respect from your peers.
And poor Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is not a bad quarterback, but he is now in the Super Bowl
All-time choke?
all-time choke, and in the regular season
All-time choke.
all-time choke. He was the quarterback when they were up 25 points against the Patriots and lost, and then he was the quarterback
And they were
when
up
they were up
33
33 points in the regular season
and lost.
and lost. So that's...
He's had the most...
And I'm a Jeff Saturday fan. I like Jeff Saturday. I wish, he's went 1-3 or 1-4 now. He probably won't get the head coaching job now. But I was sort of rooting for him. I was.
But it all just fell apart in the second
And
half.
how many times are the Vikings going to win a 2-point game or a 3-point game?
I have no clue.
Are
give me a headache.
are they pretenders or contenders?
They did win the NFC North with that incredible comeback, but holy crap, was it agonizing for the first half.
Agonizing.
But
You can't get down 33 points to the 49ers
or the Eagles.
or the Eagles and come back and win. So I don't
know if the Vikings,
know if they're going to be. They're sort of contender, maybe, but probably not.
need to get a new defensive coordinator. Their defense was as bad as it could get in the first half.
Yeah. All right, speaking of defensive games, we had the Ravens at the Browns.
The Browns get the upper hand over the older brother.
13-3, and this loss by the Ravens puts the Bengals in first place in their division now. But yeah, when you only score 3 points, maybe Hundley is not very pretty.
Yeah, Hundley is not good.
No,
If
he's
you
not a
have
very
2
good
turnovers
quarterback.
in the red zone and 2 missed field goals by Justin Tucker, which is bizarre.
That's bizarre.
That
Tucker
is-
never misses field goals, and he did.
To be fair, one of them was blocked. So
Yeah.
let's just give him 1 miss and
One
block.
miss and 1 block. Still, though,
The
three
Ravens were
points
just-
in 4 quarters.
The Ravens were just inept. It just seems like they desperately need Lamar coming back.
I did, yeah.
They are 9-5, so they can definitely salvage something.
But they can still make the playoffs just as long as they don't
collapse on themselves.
Collapse on the last part there. If they end up 9-8, they may miss the playoffs.
Who knows? They could if they don't have Lamar.
There's only 3 games left, so you need to do something.
You got to do something about that.
You got to do something. And probably one of the best games of the week, the last game on Saturday, the Dolphins 29, the Bills 32. Man, that was a good game, wasn't it? Really.
Yep. Tua had a lot of accuracy, and Josh Allen showing off his pure talent once again.
Yeah, it was actually a really well played game. It was cold, and the Dolphins didn't care. It was good to see a warm weather team play good in cold weather, because that really was anybody's game. They were up, they were down. One was up, one was down. It was a very well.
I think Ken Dorsey is finally trying to figure out how to call the game full throttle.
Ken Dorsey, this is his first year as an offensive coordinator anywhere. Period. And then to go into the Bills with all that talent, I think he's still only about 75% of what he could be calling games. He's still struggling a little bit to get that rhythm going constantly.
To be fair, this is his first year ever doing this.
Coordinating for anybody, yeah. And to jump into the Bills system.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you right immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So props to him for getting them to a division title.
The Bills did win their division and are still number one in the AFC.
So Ken Dorsey's not doing a bad
job. Not too bad,
considering it.
There's a lot of talent there, a lot of talent to play with. So, jumping into Sunday's game, we had the Steelers at your Panthers.
Just a big damper on whatever little playoff hopes we had.
Yeah, there's still only one game out, even with the loss. There's still only one game out of the.
Why is the NFC South so bad?
It is bad.
Why is it so awful?
Somebody's gonna win that division with a losing record, probably.
Someone's gonna trip on themselves and fall head first, and Pratt fall into that division lead.
Yeah, if somebody the trick thing is, if somebody gets hot these last 3 games and wins the division and goes into the playoffs hot, they might do some damage. Who knows? I don't know. That's bad though. We had the Eagles at the Bears.
Well,
Eagles win 25-20.
Had a bit of a struggle with some turnovers, but they got it together, and Jalen Hurts played well.
He played well. He got hurt.
Had a bit of a banged-up shoulder.
He's actually questionable to play this week.
Against Dallas, which
against
is
the Cowboys.
A significant game.
Mm-hmm. But the Eagles are still the Eagles. It looked like the Bears may have something for them, but...
It looked like it.
They just couldn't pull it out.
To be fair, Justin Fields is moving in the right direction.
Justin Fields is moving in the right direction. As long as he doesn't get injured.
As long as the Bears actually draft well, which they got new management, who knows?
Who knows? We'll see. We had the Falcons at the Saints. Saints pull it out 21-18.
How do you get outcoached by Dennis Allen?
I don't know.
We already explained. If you guys don't know, Dennis Allen is a bad head coach.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He was 12 and 37 before this.
Yeah, 12 and 37 before this game.
And now he's 13 and 37. Because
so he's almost a third winner.
I think Arthur Smith might be a little over his head there in Atlanta.
Think so. I think so.
Dean Pease did get hospitalized, unfortunately.
Yeah, he got into an accident on the way to the game. The defensive coordinator for the Falcons.
So they were not at full strength.
Yeah, and then the Saints come out. It was bam, bam. They were up 14-0 before you even knew what happened. So that might have had a little bit to do with it too. We had the Lions at the Jets. Each one of these teams needed the win,
and the Lions got it.
The Lions got the W. Still in the playoff hunt. The Lions. It's first time since 2016, I think it is.
They could smell it.
You could smell the playoffs, and they've got a very dangerous offense. They could win a playoff game if they get in, just because they're going to score 30 or 40 points.
What if? Well, they could. Man, that could be a dangerous team if they get to the playoffs. They have completely turned their ship around.
Started out 1-6. Now they are
7-7.
They have went 6.
Completely flipped their script.
Started out 1-6. They went 6-1 since. So, yeah, and playing some pretty good ball. Defensively, still trying to find themselves, but
the offense still scoring points.
If you win 6 out of 7 games, you can't fuss about it too much. So
unfortunately, did Robert Saleh, did their head coach just blow the clock?
Yeah, he really mismanaged that clock there at the end really, really badly. Should have been better than what they did. They actually had a chance to tie it and go into overtime and just didn't.
He just let the clock run, and he had all 3
timeouts. He ran
timeouts.
25 seconds off of the clock. It went. I think it
for
went
no reason.
I think it went from 48 to 23 or something, and they had 3 timeouts. And didn't use a single one. Lost 25 seconds just to throw a deep ball that ended up garbage, and then ended up not having enough time to get more yards to kick a closer field goal. Missed a field goal, lost. It was really mismanagement. It was.
But Zach Wilson didn't really play his way into any consideration for starting quarterback material.
No, I still don't think he's back in the good graces
of the Jets.
He's probably still starting this week because
Mike White's dealing with ribs.
He's feeling ribs, and they play on Thursday, so it's a quick turnaround. So I think he'll have one more chance to do it, and if not, he may be a trade bait for another team somewhere. Yeah, so. And then we had the most disappointing of the game of the week for me, the Cowboys at the Jaguars.
You have the stage. I will not speak. It is your time to speak. Speak to the viewers.
I am a Cowboys fan. You should know by now, but that I'm a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan my whole entire life. I love the Cowboys. But they are a disaster. They're a 10-win. They got 10 wins. They're a 10-win disaster.
That doesn't make any sense. Where you're trying to...
It's a 10-win disaster. If they win a playoff game, I will be shocked. Completely and utterly shocked. With all of that talent they have, they're still what? They're 10th or 11th ranked offense. How can you be the 10th or 11th ranked offense with a top 5 team?
Okay, but I will cut in a little bit here because I'd like to mention Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore is horrible.
Did you see how he mismanaged that last drive?
Oh my goodness gracious! It was just, he mismanaged the last drive in regular time. Don't throw a 40-yard out.
Go ahead.
I can't just say.
Go ahead.
You're trying to burn up all the timeouts of Jacksonville, so you don't have any timeouts. So you're down to 3rd down and 9, and 3rd down and 10, and they got 1 timeout left. So instead of throwing a 4 or 5 yard pass and letting your receiver try to get that 10 yards because it still keeps the play clock moving, they throw a 25-yard pass to the sideline that nobody catches. No time goes off the clock. Jacksonville gets to keep their last timeout. They drive down the field, use that timeout, kick a field goal, take it to overtime, and then the disaster in the overtime. Complete and utter stupidity and play calling. You cannot call a worse play than what he did on 3rd down. There was no worse play than what he did. In the history of football, that was the worst thing to do. That was like throwing the ball on the 1-yard line.
I don't know if it's on that kind of historical degree.
It is that bad of a play call. It cost them the game. That one play, one call, cost them the game.
Oh my gosh.
Kellen Moore, you think Todd Downing?
Todd Downing is the worst.
No, see, Todd Downing is offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. You think he's the worst?
I think he's the worst.
I think Kellen Moore is the worst because Kellen Moore has more talent and does less with it. Todd Downing doesn't have as much talent. He does have Derrick Henry.
But he does nothing with it.
But he does nothing with it. Yeah, they've lost 4 in a row now. We're about to get to that here in a second. But, man, I don't know.
But McCarthy ain't safe on that either.
No, McCarthy ain't safe on that because he's the head coach. It's ultimately his responsibility, even though Jerry Jones is the moron behind it all. Trying,
Emperor Palpatine.
Emperor Palpatine, the puppet master back there in the back. It's horrible.
Well,
anyways,
the Jaguars are in a positive direction right now.
Now on the positive, Jaguars have won 3 in a row, and they're only 1 game out of the division lead for their division. So
They're only one game out because the Todd Downing is
because
forced
Todd
the Titans
Downing
to completely
see how
themselves.
that turns around and we get right back to the
Yes.
talking. All right, let's go ahead and jump on. We got the Chiefs at the Texans.
The Texans have tried to play better football lately,
Texans are actually not
playing like their record.
I mean, what are they? 110 and
They're 111
now?
and 1.
111 and 1 right now. They're not really playing like that. They're losing some games, but they're losing some games late, and because of a few plays. They're not a horrible team, even though they are the worst record. They will get a quarterback.
Yep.
In the draft, they'll get the first pick of the quarterback. So whoever comes out there, whether you think it's C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, whoever you think's number one, they are going to get that number one quarterback, and they ain't got a bad team to put around him. So they might make a decent turnaround next year. Maybe 6, 7, 8 wins.
Yeah, Lovie Smith's not bad at head coaching.
No. Lovie Smith is a steady, calm coach. So I think.
Plus, you've got 100 draft picks.
Yeah.
So they're in a good spot.
Mm-hmm. And the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They're still
use their talent.
You pull out that talent. And Mahomes threw 3 picks, so that was really sort
last
of
week. So this week he kind of just flexed on the Texans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cardinals at the Broncos. Somebody had to win it. Somebody had to lose it.
Cliff Kingsbury, I'm not going to leave him off the hook anymore.
No.
This loss was definitely damaging.
It's damaging to his head coach status. I think he might be on the hot seat now. Because he also has a lot of talent that he is doing nothing with it.
Yep. Even with Kyler, they didn't look good.
No. And they've got some pretty good talent, too. Some pretty good. I mean, they brought Zach Ertz over as the tight end to hope, to try to solidify, and they've been worse ever since. You can't bring more talent in and be worse unless you got a bad coach.
Yep.
So,
But on the other side of this, Nathaniel Hackett.
He coached a decent game. We'll give it to the man. That was a decently coached game.
He's got 2 straight wins under his pocket now.
Maybe he's learning. This is his first time head coaching.
We've clowned him all year.
We have clowned him all year long. Maybe he's starting to listen to things and do things. I mean, he's got somebody to watch the clock for him, so he ain't got to worry about that anymore. So maybe after he got somebody to watch the clock for him, he could coach him.
maybe
that was the trick the whole time.
Because Lord have mercy, could he not do
that?
He
can't watch the clock. No, he can't. We had the Patriots at the Raiders. What the crap?
One of the all-time buffoon decisions ever.
Yeah, that is one of the worst decisions.
Jacoby Myers just says, "Screw this! I'm gonna fling it way over to my quarterback.
It's
just to get him run over."
It's tied 24-24.
Why the heck are you even doing that?
You're not losing. You're not losing 24-23 to where you got to do something stupid to try to score. It's tied. Just go into overtime.
Just take a knee. Take a knee. You didn't have to do all that crap. You just had to take a knee.
2 laterals, an interception, and the game's over. As you steamroll the quarterback.
Jacoby Myers, he threw it like 25 yards behind him to Mac Jones just for him to get trucked by Chandler Jones.
First of all, why would you throw it back to your quarterback? That's probably one of the most least athletic people on the team. Mac Jones is not going to run with the ball. First of all, you don't want to get him killed.
Then he got killed there.
None of it, 0 of it made
Nothing
sense. 0 of that made sense, no.
The fact that this was under Bill Belichick, of all people,
yeah,
that's just baffling.
I think Bill Belichick was baffled afterwards, too. I think it was like, what the... It was bad.
It has to be up there as one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
What are they calling it? The
Hail Moron.
The Hail Moron?
Just search it up, people. You can see that play.
The Hail
Moron.
So
stupid.
The Hail Moron.
And that Josh McDaniels gives the Raiders false hope for the playoffs.
Yeah, the Raiders aren't going to do anything in the playoffs. Again, they've got probably one of the most talented teams in the league too, and do the list. Josh McDaniels should not be a coach. A offensive coordinator, yes. Head coach, no. The Titans at the Chargers. Speaking of offensive coordinators that shouldn't be there.
The man, the myth, the legend, Todd Downing.
4 straight losses with the talent on that team. Yeah.
Todd Downing is a disgrace to offenses. He should not be anywhere near a playbook.
Now, Tannehill did get hurt early and went out.
That wasn't on him.
No. And you brought in...
But do you know what also is on Todd, though? Calling plays that take forever to develop with a guy with a bum ankle.
You got him, he's got a sore ankle, and you call a play that takes 5-6 seconds to develop.
And you get him hit.
And you get him run over again.
I mean, that is just boneheaded.
And for some reason, he loves sweep plays. But he's got nobody fast.
He ain't got nobody on
Nobody
that team that's fast.
But you love to call the sweep.
He likes to
I don't know why.
I think he brought Derrick Henry out of shotgun again. It's like he doesn't listen. He's too stubborn to change.
If you got a couple guys out there that run 4.2, 4.3s, woo-ha. But you can't call a speed offense when you don't have any speed.
Why are you doing it with tight ends, too?
Oh, no.
That's how stupid Todd Downing might be the worst objectively play caller.
Kellen Moore is.
Todd.
They can imagine those two on the same team together. That would be bad, wouldn't it?
I could barely imagine.
Kudos to the Chargers. They needed it really, really badly too,
and they got it because the Titans' defense was the best part of the day.
Yeah, they only gave it. Titans' defense only gave up 17 points.
Only picked Herbert off twice. One interception was really well done.
Man, that is look up that interception. That is one of the best interceptions I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was teamwork.
I mean, that's smart, brain. I mean, for you to see that ball and think, there's no way that I can intercept it.
But my buddy can.
But what I can do is jump up and tip it back to my buddy. That was just spectacular. I mean, I could just pull that play up and watch that play and go, man, that's a good football play. For them to lose the game with that was disgraceful. That should have turned your team into like a powerhouse with that kind of. That should have turned up the sideline. You should have been. Rah!
But Todd Downing goes.
But Todd Downing killed it. Off of that interception, 3 and out, punted it back.
His offense.
No more Mo. Mo's gone. Mo has left the building.
If you love 3 and outs, then Todd Downing
is your man. Todd Downing is your man.
He leads the NFL. His offense with 3 and outs.
Yeah. They do lead the offense they are way in advance of everybody in 3 and outs. Kellen Moore's probably the most that gets 30 yards and then punts. He doesn't do 3 and outs very much, but he can't get past the 40.
At least Kellen Moore can move the ball.
Only to the 40 though. He can't get past the 40.
Todd Downing can't even get a first down.
No, that is pretty bad. All right, we had the Bengals at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers jumped out to a 17-point lead, and that was the end of that.
The house completely fell down on itself.
Yes, it started with who? Todd Bowles may be the worst head coach in the league.
Todd Bowles.
Well, you're on your own 25-yard line, and you call a fake punt, and the guy that was involved in the fake punt doesn't even know it's coming to him.
That was
bounced off his face mask. You were winning at that point. You were ahead.
You just had to punt
just punt the ball.
Todd Bowles decides to say, "Hey, we can get the lead more. Although we're on our own 26, and we should obviously freaking punt. Let's decide to do this weird freaking fake punt."
And everybody knew it except for the guy that it was snapped to and bounced off his chest. And then, boom, Cincinnati's got a touchdown. And then the next drive, boom, interception, touchdown. The next one, boom, fumble, boom. And, I mean, that started a snowball to where Cincinnati scored like 21 straight points.
It was a disgrace. Not Downing, but it seemed like he was Todd Downing.
Todd Downing calling for Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles might be the worst head coach.
He might be the worst head coach in the league right now.
What the man has done with this team with Tom Brady is nothing short of a disgrace.
You have a Super Bowl winning team. The next year you have a team that's 1 game away from getting into the Super Bowl. And then this year they got 6 wins? What the crap? And the only difference is the head coach is horrible. He is bad. Man, I love him as a defensive coordinator, and nothing wrong with that. But the man should not be a head coach.
4th and 1 from your own 26, and you do a fake punt.
That's
horrible.
The good thing is, the guy didn't know it was coming.
We're ahead by 17.
They snapped it to a back and bounced off his. God, that was so bad. That was so horrible. That's almost like calling a 25-yard pass on 3rd and 9 when you're trying to use up timeouts.
That's comical. That is comical.
Yes, it is. All right, the last game we had, the last Sunday game, we had the Giants at the Commanders. Somebody needed this win really badly, and it was the Giants pulled it out at the end there.
The Giants' defense pulled it out there.
20-12.
The Giants are now one step ahead to going to the playoffs.
The Giants started out hotter, but Washington was the hotter team coming in. But the Giants...
They shut the door on them late.
They played better early. The Giants played better early and then hung on at the end there. So that's all that matters. You get the W.
Brian Daboll taking a team like this with no wide receivers whatsoever.
They don't have any wide receivers. Saquon Barkley is the running back, and he leads the team in receptions.
They definitely
when your running back leads your team in receptions, you got some problems. But he still got 8 wins.
8-5-1. You can't really blame that.
8 wins with no wide receivers. Well, they got some wide receivers. They're just
not good.
They're the B side record of the records. They're not the A team. So congrats to them. And Daboll, who was he last year?
The Bills OC.
The Buffalo Bills OC. So he knows offense. And he's went in there and he's turned that team around a little bit. They had a little crumble in the middle there, but they won when they needed to there. So congrats to them. And then Monday night we had the Rams at the Packers.
The Packers' slim playoff hopes are alive, while the Rams are shut down.
Yeah, the Rams are shut down, and they didn't have any talent left on the field because of injuries.
And the team is just so bad offensively, even with everybody back. I don't know.
They were bad at the beginning of the year with all other talent. So
they lost their offensive coordinator, and it showed.
Yes,
it showed.
And the Packer, and it was cold. It was cold. What was it? It was 12 degrees.
This is Lambeau. What do you expect?
Yeah, it was 12 degrees at kickoff. So it's hard for a Los Angeles team to fly 12 hours and play in 12-degree weather. That's pretty tough to do sometimes. But anyways, that is our recap of Week 15. Now it's time for we got to pick one from like 50 teams right here for the dumpster fire.
Who's gonna win this?
I don't know.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And the dumpster fire goes to
the Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts. We had to pick the Colts. There's a lot of dumpster fires burning out there. Some of them may be more rotten than others, but this one is historic.
Yep.
It is a dumpster fire that we will be talking about
years.
20 years from now.
Years.
The team that was up 33 points at halftime
completely
and
choked
lost.
Completely lost.
They gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Jeez Louise. Remember when they gave up 34 to Kellen Moore? Mm-hmm. Maybe that should have been a tail.
That should have been a sign there, yeah. But they did. They gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter. Just one quarter by itself, 22 points.
That is bad defense, and that is bad team play. Who does that fall on? The head coach.
It falls on. I think that Jeff Saturday has not been a head coach before, and a lot of times you can tell with younger coaches, when they get up big, they shut her down a little bit. And if you shut it down against an NFL team and the other team catches fire, you can't stop it.
Because it's just going to keep burning.
Mm-hmm. Your momentum is completely gone because you've shut it down. And the other team is just... And that's what happened to the Falcons in the Super Bowl. And then that's what happened to the Colts here. They were up 33 points at halftime, sitting in the locker room going, oh, man, I wish this game would just go ahead and get on over. And then you lose because you don't. I'm huge when it comes to playing a game. You keep the pedal to the floor until the game's over. If I beat you by 100, you should have stopped me. I am not going to pull up. I am not going to let up. I am not going to stop scoring until the clock is 0. And if you don't do that, these things can happen. They should have went right back out and tried to hit 50 points. Let's try to get 50 on them. Instead of pulling up and softy, don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, and you lose. No, I don't know. That is a historic, horrible loss.
Oh, poor Jeff Saturday and poor Matt Ryan, especially.
I love Jeff Saturday, and Matt Ryan is not a bad quarterback. I have a little soft spot with him. I hope he can finish his career on a positive note. I don't know if it'll be with the Colts. I don't know. Did they sign him for more than 1 year?
I suppose. I think he did.
So maybe he'll be back next year. Maybe they can do a little better next year.
Or maybe he can go to a team that'll help him win now.
Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, that's our dumpster fire for the week. Let's jump into our predictions. Thursday Night Football, we mentioned we had the Jets. We got the Jaguars at the Jets.
Big game.
Big game. One of these two teams will probably be out of the playoffs whenever this is over. It is at the Jets. The Jets are actually favored by 1 point, with Wilson probably being their quarterback.
I'm picking the bounce back for the Jets.
I'm going to pick the Jets, too. The Jets should win this. I don't know. Jacksonville's been on fire lately.
We'll stick with it this week.
We'll stick with the Jets. We got the Jets -1, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars don't pull off number 4 in a row. Saturday, we got the Lions at the Panthers.
No, this one kind of discourages me a little bit.
The Lions should win. They got the most firepower. They're favored by 2.5.
I might pick the Lions.
I'd probably pick the Lions -2.5. If it was a 5 or 6 point line, I might pick the Panthers just because the Panthers have not been giving up. They've been fighting every single game. But since it's only 2.5, if the Lions win by a field goal, then it's covered. So we had the Bills at the Bears. Gotta go Bills.
Yeah, I gotta go to the Bills.
Yeah.
They're playing for the number 1 seed.
They are playing for the number 1 seed, and only the number 1 seed this year gets a bye because they let extra teams into the playoffs. So the only way you get that bye week is if you're numero uno. And honestly, I hate the bye week. I would rather play that week. I know you're risking injury, but you also lose your momentum that you had going. But anyways, Bills. The line's 9. Do you think the Buffalo will beat them by 9 or more? Probably will, yeah. We got the Saints at the Browns.
I know Joe Woods is not a good defensive coordinator at all. I've said that all year.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
But Dennis Allen's not a good head coach. And there's a difference between a bad head coach and a bad defensive coordinator.
And the Saints are going from the dome to
the cold.
So, yeah, Cleveland's favored by 2.5. We'll probably go ahead and take that, too. We got the Texans at the Titans. The Titans are going to lose 5 in a row.
Anything is possible with Todd Downing, the wizard, the sorcerer, the myth.
I'll probably take Tennessee because they should win.
They should.
The line's
for all that is good and decent, they should.
Tennessee -5. We'll lay with that. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if that doesn't go right.
If the Titans lose this game, oh my gosh, we're probably going to hammer them.
Mm-hmm. We got the Seahawks at the Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 9.5. That's probably going to happen. I'll take the Chiefs probably about 12 to 14 points probably. Got the Giants at the Vikings. This one is... The Vikings are favored by 3.5.
I'm picking the Giants.
I'm picking the Giants too. I feel the Giants for some reason. Getting a little momentum coming off of that division rival win, and you're going up, and you got 3.5 to play with. Again, if it was 2.5, might take the Vikings. But it's 3.5. I think we take the Giants. Bengals at the Patriots. Bengals are favored by 3.5.
They're starting to get healthy.
They're starting to get on fire a little bit lately. They've been scoring like 30+ points a game. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take that. And they've got too many weapons.
For you to defend.
Belichick will take away your number 1 weapon,
which is Jamar. But you still got Tyler Boyd.
Higgins.
And you still got T. Higgins.
Higgins has better numbers than Chase right now. So if you take away Chase, you got Higgins. Say for Higgins, you got Chase. You got Tyler Boyd. You got P. Ryan in the backfield. I mean, what do you go to? So yeah, we take Cincinnati. We got the Falcons at the Ravens.
Ravens should win this game.
Ravens are favored by 7.5.
I'm not taking that.
I'm not taking 7.5.
Because
no,
not with Brett Hundley.
No, I don't. Will they score 7.5? That's the question. I only got 3 points last week. You have to score 8 points to win by 7.5. Okay, let's Falcons plus 7.5 on that one. We got the Commanders at the 49ers. Line 7, I don't care. I'll take it.
That'll help one team in particular if they win.
Mm-hmm. Detroit jumps up into the 7 if they win and Washington loses. Woo! Got the Eagles, Cowboys.
I'm gonna take the Eagles.
If Hurts plays, then I'm taking the Eagles. If Hurts doesn't play, probably lean towards the Cowboys. But Kellen Moore's so horrible. Mentally, you're thinking talent, but man, he calls such horrible games. It negates that talent a lot of times. Cowboys are actually favored by 5. If Hurts plays, I'm going plus 5. That's a no-brainer gimme. If Hurts is out, I'll probably still take the Eagles plus 5. I mean, that 5 points is a lot of points with that Eagles talent. And then we got our last game on Saturday is the Raiders at the Steelers. Pittsburgh's been getting a little bit better. Do you think Pittsburgh or do you think the Raiders?
Do I think Pittsburgh or do I think the Raiders?
I would probably take the Raiders, to be honest. Pittsburgh's favored by 3.
The 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception celebrated with the Raiders and Steelers matchup.
The Raiders got screwed in that game, so I think they win this one. Yep. That ball hit the ground with Immaculate Reception, don't you think? I mean, really? If you can make the replay. Don't you? Okay, let's jump into Sunday. That is being Christmas. There's only 3 games on Sunday. The majority of James are
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good day.
Merry Christmas. There's only 3 games on Sunday because it's Christmas.
Sorry we forgot our Christmas hats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. We didn't Christmas hats to me. Sunday, we got 3 games. We got the Packers at the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. The Dolphins are going to be high-tepping their way to 9-6.
Now, Miami's favored by 4. I'll take that. We got the Broncos at the Rams. This is the somebody's got to lose bowl.
I think Hackett's going to get his 3rd straight win. I don't know. I've liked the way that he's turned it around a little bit.
Think about it. The Broncos are 4-10, and the Rams are 2. After winning the Super Bowl. 4. That's got to be one of the worst collapses in the history of Super Bowl winning teams, isn't it? I mean, it should be. Sounds like it to me.
I don't think any Super Bowl defending champ's done worse.
No, I think this is the worst collapse in the history of the NFL. But yeah, we got the Broncos minus 2.5. We got the Bucks at the Cardinals. I'm taking the Bucks. Bucks coming off of a tough loss.
Todd Bowles, though.
Oh gosh. But who's coaching the Cardinals?
Cliff Kingsbury.
You're gonna take Todd Bowles or Cliff Kingsbury. The only difference is you got Tom Brady. I'm going to take Tom Brady, thinking maybe he can overcome
Todd Bowles'
stupidity. Yeah,
I doubt it, though.
I doubt it either. But all right, Monday Night Football. We got the Chargers at the Colts. I'll take the Chargers.
Brandon Staley, the stale piece of bread, might be getting a little more flavor on it.
Yeah, this might be a trick game too, because the Colts, after coming off of that collapse, they will either disappear and fade into nothing and lose every game going out, or this game will gel them and they're going to win coming out. So this game will tell the tale. The Chargers are favored by 4. I'll take the Chargers minus 4 because I always lean towards chaos more than I do not. So I'm thinking this game probably causes chaos and then the season's over. So take the Chargers minus 4. Anyways, that's it. That is our picks for Week 16. Our recap of Week 15, a little dumpster fire. We hope you had fun with us. What an exciting, crazy week. I can't wait to see what happens this week. It's crazy, man. Anyways, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment.
Remember, folks, if you think you don't deserve a job and you feel like you can't get a job anywhere, just remember.
Just think of all the bad coaches that are in the NFL.
And remember, think to yourself, if you're going to struggle at your job one day, just remember, you can do your job better than Todd Downing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
full hearted. Go for it.
Go for it. That is horrible, and killing more too.
You can do your job better than him.
Yeah.
Anybody out there watching,
take all the talent in the world and just look so horrible. But anyways, let's see what happens this week. Again, share us with your friends and hit that groovy baby button over there somewhere.
On my face.
On your face somewhere. See you next week.
See you next week.